Whoever told you that your spiritual development journey is going to be a fun experience, they were lying to you, I'm afraid. When you are starting out your self development and your spiritual development journey, very likely you're going to be bumping into a lot of challenges along that path. The reason why this happens is actually quite simple. You are changing your entire mindset, you are changing your view on how you see the world around you, and you are going to be changing your entire core belief system. This whole new world basically opens up for you when you start exploring your own spirituality and you start digging into all these different new topics that maybe you never heard about before, like energy healing, law of attraction, manifestation, mindset, mindfulness, all of these fun topics that I just mentioned, a small, tiny part of them. So what usually happens that you get really excited about all these new learning opportunities and all these cool topics that you've never heard about before. So you're very likely going to be running into your first challenge, which means you're going to be feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all this new information that your brain is now trying to absorb. The easiest way for you to deal with is try to filter out those bits that you deeply resonate with and shift your focus onto specific topics that you want to go a little bit deeper in. You don't have to learn everything in 2 days or 10 minutes or even in a year. Your whole life is there to keep digging even deeper within specific or certain topics. So pick a few maybe strong foundations that you feel that, okay, I'm really deeply resonating with this topic. I want to learn more about maybe mudras or kundalini energy, anything around those topics, whatever stands out for you. Stick with those topics at the beginning, because if you're going to be trying to take on too much too fast, you're not going to be implementing what you are learning. You need to be a little bit more selective of what you're going to be allowing your brain to receive. Okay, so if you feel that you're a little bit confused because there is a lot of information out there, try to pick not more than 2 or 3 topics and dig a little bit deeper. So the second challenge that you are likely to be facing is that you start noticing all these patterns around you, because the more you read about these new concepts and the more you understand your own self as a human being and as a spiritual being, you will notice your own patterns and you will notice patterns around you. And I'm not talking about patterns like this one, but this is a really symbolic one. That's what I chose this image for you, the spiral. So you might want to read about that as well if you haven't done that, especially the Fibonacci spiral. I might put that in the description so you can Google it simply. But the patterns that I'm talking about is things that your behavior keeps repeating, how you react to specific things, how you act in specific scenarios, those kind of patterns. Maybe you see them happening in your work or in your relationships, or even just how you lash out sometimes, or how you react to certain things emotionally. And when you are reacting to things emotionally, that comes very much from a soul level, because it triggers a an emotional reaction in you. So when you start noticing these patterns, they can feel a little bit challenging. But what I would really recommend you to do with these patterns is start journaling and start documenting them. So if you are noticing a few things that you see that either you are keep repeating, or you notice the patterns in someone else around you, start taking notes of them, because over time you can retrain your brain to pick up on these patterns a little bit faster and a little bit quicker, so you can start changing them and shifting them when you get a bit more developed with what to do with your new skill set and how to do them. So don't be alarmed if you start noticing patterns. You have not gone crazy. This is absolutely normal, but it can feel a little bit challenging. So if I was you, I would just start literally taking notes whenever you are picking out on these new patterns around you. That's what helped me, at least personally. It really helped me, and I have, maybe you can see it behind me, I have a lot of notebooks behind me. For the last 10, 15 years, I have been journaling and writing down my thoughts, and it really helped me as well to make sense of things. Okay, and the third challenge that you're going to be probably facing is a little bit of isolation and a little bit of loneliness when you haven't maybe established your new tribe yet, so to speak. Because when you start your awakening and when you start your spiritual development journey, a lot of things won't make sense for you anymore. And a lot of those people around you that you have been friends with, or they were your colleagues or your neighbors, your family, you're probably not going to understand each other anymore as much as you used to. So it does lead to that little path, and I'm emphasizing this is a little path. It feels heavy and it feels like it's a never ending road, but it's a small path of your entire journey when you're going to feel a little bit isolated, a little bit lonely. So if that's the case, go out there and use social media for its positive sides, that it's still out there, and connect with conscious people out there and start having those conversations, not just online, but it's easier to get started online. And if you want to, I put my handle there as well, so feel free to do that and we can have a chat if you want to. But if you are reaching out to people who are sharing the same beliefs, who are going through the similar kind of journeys, it will be a lot easier for you to not feel lonely, to not feel depressed, and just in general to enjoy the process. And looking back later down the line, you will realize that these challenges that I just highlighted, these are just top three. There are a lot more. So fasten your seatbelt, but it's going to be a fun ride. Not in a way that it's going to be super easy, but looking back, you realize actually it was fun because I learned a lot, even the struggles, even those sort of deep, transformative, inner healing periods that you went through. They led you to become a person that you are becoming. So this is necessary. So when we say it can be a lot of fun, yes, it can be a lot of fun, but a lot of people don't tell you the dark side of spiritual development, which are these sort of challenges that you are likely to be facing. So you don't have to feel alone, you don't have to feel isolated, you definitely don't need to feel confused or even misunderstood about your journey. So feel free to reach out to me as well, or anyone within the community who cares about making a positive impact. My name is Timmy. I'm a spiritual business mentor, and I help people like you to make a living out of your spiritual calling.